Hey folks, this is James Kazarek with Mom. Mom's iPad's dead, so we're using Dad's iPad. Alright, so today's video is going to be about World War II. Some people think that World War II could have just started off with World War I. You see the map here. Well, actually, it could be more than that. Some people think it was the Great Depression. Some people think that it was when Hitler rose to power. Number 3 is correct. Of course, anyway, let's get the video started. The trigger to war began when the Rhinelands, which is a German territory and also unmilitarized, was occupied by German troops. Then Germany annexed Austria, who happily joined the Third Reich. Germany then invaded Czechoslovakia, the first mostly non-speaking state to be invaded by the Germans. They also formed a puppet state there, Slovakia, and please stop getting in the way. Sorry, that's my little daughter. Anyway, Britain and France both gave Germany an ultimatum not to invade Poland. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, forcing Britain and France to declare war on Germany. After taking the Soviet Union, which was an ally of Germany, invaded Poland from the east. Right. After taking over Poland, Denmark, and Norway, Germany turned to the west. They immediately went through the Low Countries of Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Belgium. They were so quick. In fact, it only took 3 hours for 1 to 3 hours for three German panzer divisions to invade the entire country of Luxembourg. Soon after the evacuation of Dunkirk began, the whole of Belgium was forced to surrender, except for the Belgian army, of course. Then Germany began a sweep into France after the final evacuation. Germany had 130 divisions in France. The French, with only 50 divisions, were forced to retreat. Eventually, the Prime Minister of France resigned and was replaced by Marshal Philippe Pétain, the military hero from the First World War. Eventually, Germany formed a puppet government at the bottom of France, down here, called Vichy France.
I can't see the map, James. Press the second one up. Okay.
Right here. The USA was going concerned of Germany, and so they supplied Britain and the Allies with aid and cut off all oil to Japan. The ambitious Japanese Empire was growing throughout the 1940s, and so they decided to disrupt the American Navy by bombing Hawaii. But they were supposed to keep America from interfering. But Japan had awoken a sleeping giant, and so America declared war on Japan, and thus Germany declared war on the United States. In North Africa, Mussolini's Italy had invaded British Egypt. The British regrouped and counterattacked and forced the Italians back into Libya. The British then invaded Libya and an Italian-controlled Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia. Hitler sent General Erwin Rommel in to help Mussolini's forces. Mom, can you keep going, please?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Oh, good. And Thea, please get out of the way of the camera.
Thea, move.
Anyway, relations between Germany and the Soviet Union were worsening, but they both had a right to invade the world. So Hitler sent 4 generals to invade the Soviet Union. They were within miles of Moscow and it was the winter that doomed the Germans. Okay, you're done. No, I'm not. The Germans weren't ready for the extreme cold. The Russians were. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the Americans, with the help of Canada and Mexico and Australia and China were fighting Japan in various sea battles while the Soviet Union watched from the background. Meanwhile, Hitler's invasion of...
to her speech, because we know this is a woman who's responsible for...
Meanwhile, the Soviet Union, who by now amassed a huge army, was marching right along the German Empire and had created a bulge. As they marched into Poland on their advance on Warsaw, they began to uncover a terrible truth. The Germans had been rounding up Jewish people and other people they hated and exterminated them in death camps. The worst one, Auschwitz, was a custom-built death factory with skulls everywhere. The Allies liberated the survivors. Many of the Jewish people came home unwelcome, their houses taken in their absence. Meanwhile, in Asia, Japan had attempted to invade India, but British forces, with the help of their Indian allies, managed to stop the Japanese at the Battle of Imphal and Kohima Pass. I drew a picture of it right here. And there's more fighting in the background up there. This was the fall of the Japanese Empire. Meanwhile, in Asia, the Republic of China defeated the Japanese at West Hunan, which stopped the Japanese advance. Eventually, the Allies approached Germany from all directions, and on April 30th, 1945, Hitler shot himself in his bunker. On May 7th, 1945, Hitler's under the direction of Karl Donitz, the new leader of Nazi Germany surrendered. The next day was Victory in Europe Day. The Nazis had been beaten for good, but the Allies were still at war with Japan. Meanwhile, the United States had pushed the Japanese out of the Pacific while the British liberated Burma. They've been planning an invasion of Japan set for October until Jewish scientists finished developing their weapon.
Okay, stop.
So they decided to use the atomic bomb.
Okay, James, you have to wrap it up before the real war breaks out.
The Soviet Union then declared war on Japan after several years of being neutral during the war in Asia.
Hey, not nice.
Eventually, the Japanese decided to surrender.
Yay, are you done?
Yes.
Say the end.
The end.